Hey Poses, I'm Grumpy Cheeto, and I just got back from my fishing trip in time to do this week's ECW review. This week's ECW was on the lower end of the scale. Not really impressed, but not really that discouraged about it. It's not the worst, but it's not nowhere near the best. Let's jump right into the show. This week's ECW is in my backyard of Bridgeport, Connecticut. Kick off the show with Zack Ryder with Rosa Mendez taking on Shelton Benjamin. Good match by both competitors, but it just flippantly in the middle of the match, or at the beginning of the match, the commentators announced that Tiffany's going to give Shelton a title shot if he wins. What about Mr. Woo Woo Woo? You know it, Zack Ryder. Former #1 contender, former tag team champion, former Mr. Needs a Shot. And they just kind of use him as a stepping stone for Shelton Benjamin. And I'm kind of discouraged about this only because I was looking forward to Zack Ryder getting some experience feuding with Shelton Benjamin. And now he's not. So what are they going to do with him? I just hope he doesn't get lost. That's all I hope. Anyway, good match. Shelton goes over, of course, he's your new #1 contender. Which then at the end of the match, Christian comes out. Commercial break. And then we come back to the first promo of the in-ring promo of the night with Shelton Benjamin and Christian. Christian then, of course, announces that ECW hasn't been on the card for the pay-per-views the past couple months, which I agree is crap. And Christian says, I'm gonna up the ante a little bit, and I'm going to challenge you, Shelton Benjamin, to a ladder match at TLC. And of course, Shelton accepts. This is gonna be a great match. It's almost worth ordering the pay-per-view just for this match. But anyway, I mean, what else are you gonna watch? Cena and Sheamus? Thought I got rid of that poser. I thought I got fired or something. Pillsbury dope Sheamus boy. Anyway, then we immediately go into the second promo of the night with William Regal and Soviet Domination, as Classic 1333 likes to call him in the back. Regal cuts a pretty good promo, but they didn't even let him finish it. I mean, he says that he's gonna, retake their place in ECW, and they cut their promo right in the middle of it. Second match of the night is of course, squash match by Vance Archer. He takes on Alex Reynolds, and that's right, I wrote it down 2 weeks in a row. The jobber got on the program 2 weeks in a row. Guy held his own for a little bit, I guess. 2-minute squash match, bleh. At this time, fortunately, my feed cut out because I don't get sci-fi here. I usually watch it on the internet. And I missed the Abraham Washington show with Matt Hardy. Oh, well. So I missed that. I'm not that discouraged. First off, Matt Hardy, he's better in ring than he is in a promo. And then Abraham Washington, so I think God was looking out for me on this one and made me miss this one. The feed came back just in time for the main event. And if there's anything else in between there, I didn't see it. The main event, which was William Regal versus Yoshitatsu? Really? I mean, I get William Regal, but Yoshitatsu. And this match actually ended before 11 o'clock. I mean, I've been watching ECW for a while, and normally these main events don't end until like a minute, 2 minutes, even 5 minutes after 11. But this match ended like a minute before. This match wasn't that great. There wasn't a lot of ring work. I mean, William Regal did his normal. It's a basic brawler versus cruiser match. And then Vladimir tries to help William Regal cheat to win. And then Yoshi hits a swinging super kick and gets the win. It was very anticlimactic, not very well booked. So, and then the post-match was Big Zeke, of course, declaring his independence, and Uranagi slamming Vladimir, and then Uranagi slamming Regal, which, I mean, isn't bad. That'll build a feud between Vladimir and Zeke, and probably Regal will be involved in that too, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it was built very well. It doesn't seem like it was booked very well. So anyway, that's my take on ECW this week. Now moving on to my fantasy ECW. How I would book this week's ECW. I would start off my ECW, of course, with William Regal versus Yoshitatsu, because that match did not deserve to be the main event. I'm sorry. And I wouldn't have anything special go on at the end. It'd be a back and forth match, good 10-minute match. in the end, William Regal getting the win. Just because Regal needs to be put over a little bit more, way more than Yoshitatsu. Sorry. Second thing of the night would be a promo where it would be Tiffany in the ring talking with Shelton and Zack Ryder, and she would announce that later on tonight the main event would be a #1 contenders match for the ECW title. So then Christian comes out and Christian says, you know what? I'm going to put my title on the line at TLC to the #1 contender tonight in a ladder match. So I'd keep that the same for the most part, but it would just be done differently. Then we go on to the next match of the night, and it would be Vladimir Kozlov and Ezekiel Jackson versus Vance Archer and Tyler X. Good 5 to 7 minute match. I'd put over Ezekiel Jackson and Vladimir Kozlov, and then maybe show a little dissension in there to start the build between Zeke and Vladimir, but I'd still have them win the match because they needed to be over. Alright, third match of the night. Oh, I'm doing 4 matches, believe it or not. Only 1 promo. Third match of the night would be Tommy Dreamer versus Goldust, former partners collide, where I'd put Dreamer over just because Dreamer is awesome and he's an original. And Goldust would put up a good match. It'd be probably a good 7 to 10 minute match, but in the end, Dreamer would get off the DDT and the win. Then we'd go on to the main event. As you can tell, on an hour-long program, I'm not a big fan of promos. You just kind of need to get 1, maybe 2 in there. Main event, Shelton Benjamin versus Zack Ryder. Mr. Woo Woo Woo, you know it, for the #1 contendership. Of course, at the end, Shelton Benjamin going over for the win. And then it's Shelton Benjamin and Christian Cage going to TLC. Anyway, that's it for this week's ECW review. I'm Grumpy Cheeto, and I am